Here I have poured just some plain old heavy whipping cream into my mixer, and I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to make some soft butter to make garlic butter with to go with my meal tonight. And here you can see that I have just steamed some broccoli, and then over there I have some onions that I've caramelized just a little bit. I'm going to make some broccoli soup. Okay, so into these onions, I'm going to pour about probably close to a half a cup of flour into my onions, and I want a little bit more in it, this than I would normally put in it, but I want it to thicken my broccoli soup, making a broccoli cream soup, so I want it to thicken it real good. Put just a little bit more in there, and we'll let that brown just a bit, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, so this is just a little bit dry, and I've got some chicken broth here that I canned a couple years ago. I'm going to pour just a little bit of that in it, and the rest of it I'm going to pour in this stock pot over here that I was using to steam my broccoli, and then I'm going to add all of this together. Okay, so I've added the chicken broth to my pot. I'm going to add some of this heavy whipping cream, probably about a good quart of heavy whipping cream to that. And then I'm going to start spooning my mixture here, the roux that I've made with the onions in it. And I'm going to start spooning that into it so that it'll start to thicken a little bit. And then I'll add my seasoning and my broccoli to it once it's to the thickness that I want it to be. We'll let all that start to heat up, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do as far as seasoning it. I want to show you something here for a minute. I'm going to open another. This is just a pint of my chicken broth, but I want to show you how this pops. If I can do it with one hand, get this turned where I can get under it okay. You hear that? And that's why I like these superb lids, because no matter how long they've been canned, they still do that. You can see it's beginning to get a little bit thick. It takes about 3 minutes for this to thicken like a soft butter. Okay, I'm going to add a bunch of salt to this because I want it to have plenty of good flavor. You can see that it's boiling a little bit, probably a little more than it needs to. But that'll be a good probably a couple of teaspoons, maybe 3, of salt going into it. I'm going to turn that down just a bit. And then I'll show you the next thing that I add to it for flavor, and that is this right here. Just a bit of nutmeg to it. That really enhances the flavor. It's good with the broccoli. I also use that if I am making a cream of potato soup. Okay, you can see here it's gotten pretty thick. It's not quite as thick as it needs to be, but you can see it's beginning to peak. So this is how it should look. I need to put that down just a little so you can see. Let me turn it back on so you can kind of see what happens in the mixer itself. See how it's got little peaks everywhere? And that's the way it should look. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is add some salt to it. And I've done this enough that I know about how much salt I need to add to it. You will have to learn how much salt you want in yours. Let's turn that back on and let it mix that salt all through it. Got some there on the side. Let's see if it's going to pick it up. If it don't, I'll have to get a spatula. I think I'm going to get my spatula. And let's push that down in there. As you can see there how creamy that is. And so get that all mixed through. And then I'm going to put half of this into a small bowl because I don't want that much with garlic in it. And let me just see if I can get that off of the whisk there. It'll be all right if I don't. But now I'm going to just get part of that out and put it just here in a small bowl to put in the refrigerator that we'll just use for, oh, there's some that didn't get mixed up. I'll have to put that back in there and mix it back. I'll go over here where that there wasn't any, and I'll get this in the bowl, then I'll show you what I'm doing next. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is put some garlic powder in it. And I'm putting about a teaspoon in it, then I'm going to taste of it and see if that's enough to give it the flavor that we're looking for. And you'll learn as you watch me, I'm all about tasting what I cook to make sure that the flavor is what we like. So when I tasted of it, it needed more garlic, but it also needed a little bit more salt. So anyway, I'm going to put this in a bowl, and we're just going to spread this on some toast out of the toaster to go with our broccoli soup tonight. Now, the broccoli soup, you can see it's still cooking, and I may have to add a little more flour to it. Sometimes the humidity in our area will affect whether it gets thick or not. So we'll see in a few minutes. Okay, so it's thickening a little bit now. I can feel it on the bottom of the pot, so I know it's getting thicker. And the next thing I'm going to do is add just a bit of cheese, probably just a couple of good handfuls of cheese to it. Just some shredded cheese. And you can put any kind of cheese that you would like in it at this point. We like the cheese with the broccoli. I wouldn't always add the cheese, depending on what vegetables that I'm going to add to it. Okay, so you can see it's creamy now. And so I'm going to add my broccoli to it, and I'm going to try to do this without the tripod again. So I'll just pour my broccoli. You can see I've cut it up into small pieces. And so I don't want huge big chunks in it, but you can see there what the texture will be now that the broccoli is in it. So anyway, you can see there I've got a bowl full of the garlic butter and still got a little bit in the mixer, and I will use that to put on my toast. I hope that this broccoli soup recipe and the butter, that is so good. I mean, on toast, garlic toast, I mean, whatever. And I'll show you all at some point some other things that I do with the butter, the whipped cream, that I make like that. So, but anyway, until the next time, God bless you.